Welcome back to Anno 2005. This amazing, great game just before Anno 1800. It is a completely different setting, but I'm having tons of fun. And it's getting more complex, as you can see also by my trade routes, where we're starting to have a few more trade routes and connections. In the last episode, we did a big expansion of Widewater Bay, but today we're gonna get even further, getting to the investor level, right? We're still trying to get to 150,000 investors. As you can see, I have actually made some progress. We're now around 70,000. But we still need more, and in particular, I want to start producing new things like replicators, androids, and quantum computers. But before we could do that, we had to increase a lot of production, in particular on the moon and in the Arctic. So let's review this. So first of all, in the Arctic, now we have all 4 islands colonized, and we've actually started to expand. I mean, this island over here is getting fuller and fuller, but even on this island over here, we've definitely started. A key goal has been to increase my neuro implants production because that was needed for my people in the temperate region. Now we're producing more than 300, as you can see. Great production. To be able to do that, I've had to make sure we use all of the mines, all of the mines on all island are used. And actually over here, this is the only geothermal turbines that I have left. All of the other one have been deleted. So now I'm making all of my electricity production thanks to those gas power stations. Why, you may ask? Well, mainly it was because I needed all of those mines to transform them into this type of mine or aluminum mine, right? Because we're consuming a lot of this, more than 300. So soon we'll also delete this one, increase a bit more my gas power stations, and we'll be fine. For the gas power station, we do need a lot of methane ice, so I've had to increase also that production. For example, on the second island over here, you can see we have one over here fully optimized, another one also over here fully optimized. So definitely had to grow that. To be able to have all of those new mines and productions, I also needed a lot more people. So you can see there's houses a bit everywhere. With those houses, you often need also community centers. Remember, if they're too far away, then you need a lot more of the supply. It's a bit like your logistics. Speaking of logistics, sometimes we also had to build a couple of those transportation centers. And of course, all of those people need to eat something, right? So canneries, also I have canneries on a couple of islands, which meant that I also had to increase my fish production. Last but not least, as I said, we had to increase a lot the neuro module factories. So we have multiple ones. We have 3 over here. How many is that? 5 over here. And I think I may have another one somewhere. So this is a lot of these. They cost a lot of maintenance, a lot of people, a lot of electricity, despite having modules all the time. The good thing with all of this expansion is we're very close to being able to do step 4. We just need a couple more people. So let's improve a couple of these. I mean, I think just 1 or 2 will be enough, to be honest. Here it is. We will need to wait 15 minutes, but that shouldn't be a problem. As you can see, all of the productions are fine over here. We have nothing there. And here we are +1, so all good. So yes, the Arctic has been growing. And as I said, we have used all of the islands, so very soon we definitely need a new Arctic region, continue expanding. Now, we also had to produce more on the moon. So let's go check it out. We have a lot of free workforce from the refugee camps, right? So I haven't actually been increasing my workforce. All of these people, they cost a lot of money and they cost a lot of resources. So we haven't been improving this, but what I've definitely been improving is over here. You may realize we're making a lot more cybernetics than before. In the last episode, we were still making something like 30. Now we're almost making 80. Thanks to all of these. I think this one is completely new. This one is completely new. Completely new, and completely new. A lot more production. Of course, this has required more of the raw material, which is the rare earth element. So we have this mine there that is fully optimized, and then also this one over here. But there's definitely still more mines over there when and if needed. And as you can see, we're sending all of this, a lot of those neuro implants, as well as those bioenhancer from those regions to Widewater Bay. So let me show you what's happening there. And before we talk about those production, that population growth and all of this, let's talk about the project. We had already finished the first project and we're working on the second. We were at step 4 where we need to give 50 microchips. I've started to produce microchips to make some clothes for people, so that was an easy one. And step 5 was a classic mission with a drone to find the wreckage. We did that. That was also not too hard. Then step 6 was to have 200 of logistic for 10 minutes. So I built a lot of those logistics centers over here, right? Transportation centers, and got to 200, no problem. Now we can probably delete, oh no, not all of them. Let's delete all of them except one then, I guess. So 200 of logistic for 10 minutes. And then we move to step 7 out of 7, where we need to just tow 2 engineer boats to the structure. So it is the first one is over here. I'm gonna get the second one quickly and done. We have another of those warehouse to give us an unlimited amount of iridium. It is slow, but unlimited. And we can start already the next stage. Now let's take a look at the city. As you can see, we have a mix of all level 1, level 2, level 3, and even level 4 investors, right? So instead of having perfect blocks of every level, let's try to mix it up. So you can really see, for example, over here, right? We have level 1, 2, 3, and 4 just in the same neighborhood, trying to make a bit of those layouts. And of course, also we're going to have, the services that are needed for the level 4, right? In the middle over here or the middle over there, right? Close to those level 4 versus the services that are more needed for level 1 and 2 are more on the outside. Slowly but surely, I'm also playing a bit with some of the ornaments, right? You can see over here we have, I guess it's a bus stop, right? Some trees next to the station. Then we have a small park over here. And so here and there putting some ornaments to bring a bit more variety to the city. I'm not saying this is beauty building, but look at this. This is a pretty cool image, right? Looking at the employee promotion tab, you can see that I have actually the maximum level of investor based on my number of executive. Similarly, I have the maximum number of executive based on my number of operators, but I could definitely upgrade a lot of workers to operators and then increase all of it. Basically, what happened is that I did the maximum number of promotions over here, but then I was very low on workforce. So I created this completely new island over here, full of workers, and therefore now I can indeed upgrade a few more workers if I want, etc. So it does bring a good point that basically if you focus like I've done, all of your modules on reducing the electricity consumption and not the workforce maintenance, you will probably not be able, to upgrade all of your people to the maximum as you will be in negative workforce. But yeah, right now, as you can see, we have actually a great production. We're making more than enough of the organic food and water. The organic food is an easy one over here, right? We had all of this and then I continue to expand using all of the space available. Similarly, we're producing enough of vitamin drinks, right? More than 700. Continue to expand all the way over here. We still have a bit more space, and of course then we could continue doing a second line of it. But yeah, this is basically the same layout over and over again. Then we have our rejuvenators over here, right? A lot of algae, and then the intermediate good over here, the thin cell incubators, right? We had that already last time. So this is this sort of cool layout, I feel, with just a bit of parks in the middle. We can continue to expand there and then put another one over here. And then we have the biomedical laboratories over here. Very little, low space, as you can see with the trees. But now we have 2 new full production, the luxury food, we're producing more than 240, and we also have the IntelliWare, almost 150. I've tried to make cool and clean layouts for all of this. For example, you can see over here, this is 2 food factories workshop for the luxury food in a nice block. And we have a second one there where it's not perfect because of the mine. And then, I can continue and make a new one over here when needed. Right now we don't really need it, but when we need it, we can make it. So this is over here, for example, right? You can see 400% of productivity. We have actually on this one, I chose the workforce because this was a huge workforce. We are talking about a lot of workforce. So I reduced it a lot and also reduced slightly the electricity. Now we do need 2 things. We need the wine and we need the meat. The wine is just next door. Another pretty cool layout, if I may say so, where you have 3 of these vineyards with also 1 transportation center in the middle and a couple of trees, right? The trees are the only low space. You can see we have number 1 that is over here, number 2 over there, and number 3 there. That makes a perfect rectangle. You can see it over here too, right? And I've replicated it this side and then it's ready to be replicated there when needed. We're in positive right now, so not needed. But yeah, this is a pretty cool one. I'm focusing fully on reducing the electricity, but it's a good production. I love it. And then we need the meat from the cattle ranches. Again, a pretty cool layout, if I may say so, with this rectangle there that is covering 2 full productions with just a small park in the middle over here. This is the way spaced. All right, so we have a second one there, and then I'm starting a third one over here. So you have, 700% of production rate. This is huge, thanks to those 4 modules over here. And we're reducing the electricity over here. You can see 5 modules there, and then 5 on this side. So this is a pretty cool one. Once again, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below or on my Discord community. You know, if you have seen better layouts, if you want also more detail on some of those layouts, I'd love to hear about it. But to make the meat, we need the soybean, right? So another layout, which is over here, pretty clean. It is not perfect because I'm putting only 4 modules instead of 5, but that's pretty good, especially because it's not like the number of people or electricity is huge for this one. So yeah, you have the main building, the modules for productivity, and the modules for electricity there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and starting a 7th one. So that's a luxury food production. Again, if any questions, don't hesitate to tell me. But then we have the IntelliWare. This one making on the other side of the island over here. Again, a pretty cool and compact layout. You can see this is this rectangle for 2 of those production. We have another one over here and a 3rd one starting there. Then we can put a 4th one over here. So we have, you know, the main building, all of the modules, and then modules to reduce the electricity. It is taking quite a bit of people, but it was also taking a lot of electricity. So, you know, you can't have it all. It requires the microchips and it requires the flax fibers. The microchips are made next door, pretty, you know, rectangular too, with those 5. There's just this problem over here, but yeah, I think that's easy. You know, that's basically 2 trees over here, right? So that's an easy one, requires quite a lot of silicon. So we have those mines, for example, over here. No, this is not the right one. This one, sorry. Silicon mine, as you can see, right, taking quite a bit of people, maintenance, and all of this again. But yeah, it's working well. I think we have 2 or 3 on the island right now, like one there, and maybe another one somewhere. Yeah, over here we have the 3rd one, but as you can see, there are still a few that are available, so no problem. And then the second thing, as I said, is we're gonna need some flax. So this is what you can see over here. It is not 100% perfect layout as a rectangle because this one has 5 modules, but this one only has 4 modules. But with this, you're making a perfect rectangle. You have 2 over there, again 2, and we're almost finished with this one. We are right now at +6, so no need for more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this layout. Again, don't hesitate to tell me if you have any questions or comments. Those buildings are amazing. I love seeing also all of these electricity things. I think they work really well. And with this, you see how we've been able to produce everything needed for level 1, level 2, level 3, and we can start level 4 now. Replicators, quantum computers, anti-grav compensators. Well, remember, we used to make those ones on the moon, but it was costing a lot. The androids we've just unlocked, and then entertainment, which, to be honest, we actually haven't unlocked yet because this is only coming at 100,000 investors. So we're not there yet, but as I said, we just unlocked the androids, and here it is, 1 more hour, and we've made some progress. We've moved to 85,000. We're not there yet, but we have started to make replicators, androids, quantum computers, and we had made in the past anti-grav compensators, right? We're just missing the stadium because remember, this is 100,000 people. Let me show you a bit what we've done. First of all, we have made progress on stage 3 of the project for this sector, right? We are now at step 6 out of 8. It is a bit of a hard one because we need 50 fusion power cells, and we've stopped making those on the moon, so I need to restart it. More importantly, if you look at my scientists over here, they are getting quantum computers. Okay, as you can see, to be honest, I'm not making a lot yet. Production of 6, consumption already 4. In Wildwater Bay, to give it to our investors, we need a lot more. We need 66 computers. So 11 times what I'm making right now. Definitely, you know, we're gonna need to improve this, but it's a start. And in particular, I can show you how to make it. I just have to increase that production a lot more. The first building over here is a sub-zero clean room. With this, we're making some qubit processors. First of all, it is using this resource that we are using a lot in the Arctic. Plus, it's also taking some diamonds from the temperate region. So we're sending the diamonds over here. I'll show you where in a second. And with this, making those qubits. I have 1 module. We could start adding more, of course, to make more in the future. And then this is going over here into this hardware fabrication plant to make those quantum computers using those qubit processors and another thing, the supercoolant. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, this is what's happening over here. There is also 1 module and 3 of those accumulator units to reduce the energy maintenance. And as I said, last but not least, we have this cryogenic lab to make those supercoolants, which is using more the methane ice and the deuterium that we were using for fusion, right? So we had those production already going, but if we want to be able to make 66 of this one, right, we're definitely gonna have to increase the production of both methanes and deuterium. So we're giving it to those people over here, but now we need to increase it a lot. Now another new production is the replicators, and I'm actually making them on the basin. I had some workforce, we still had some power and some space, and remember that over here we have this sector trait of the mining output are increased by 10%. It's not huge, but it's something. So indeed over here in those Neutrinium labs, we're making those replicators using multi-spec prims and some microchips that we had already. We were already making microchip on the other side, but obviously I'm making them also now over here, right? This is this production there, which is using the silica that we're making over here. This definitely has potential to increase. We can increase that, but for now it's not needed. Then we have over here, all of this. This is actually a lot of maintenance as always. The higher the buildings, obviously the higher the maintenance. And to make those prims, we were using a nano cutting unit over here, which is using both diamonds that you can see over here. This is a pretty cool mine. There is water there and you have the mining facilities on the rock. Love how they made all of those animations. And this is also using rare earth elements from the moon. So we definitely had to send some from the moon. And then remember those diamonds that I'm making over here, I'm also sending some to the Arctic for the other production. You can see the rare earth over here, right, from the moon. You have here the diamonds to the Arctic. And then all of those replicators that we're making on the basin actually are not being used on the basin. They're all sent to Wildwater Bay. Because actually what I did is over here, we used to have level 4, but I took all of them out. Now they're all level 3, as you can see. So of course, this has reduced a bit my population of investor for a while, but this way it's a lot easier. Over here, I only have 1, 2, 3, and then it's on Wildwater Bay that we're gonna make a lot of level 4. By the way, while I was working on this, I also tried to optimize a bit more my productions. You can see there's not that many that are a bit high, because the higher they are, obviously the more maintenance is costing us for nothing. So going over here to Wildwater Bay, you can see we've started to give the replicators. There's this sand over here, right? Consumption 33, import 35, we're good. We haven't started to send the quantum computer from the Arctic because remember we're only producing 6 and we need 66, so that's not enough. I haven't restarted yet the anti-grav compensators, we're gonna do that soon, but we do have started the androids. If we look over here, the androids, production 66, consumption 66, perfect. Let me show you that production. It is actually happening in this corner close to the vitamin. We have 2 of these blocks completely done, and then we have a third that we've just started. This is a building that as always costs quite a lot, fully optimized, but is producing quite a bit, right? Because we only have 3 of these for more than 60. This is going to use some of those scene cells that we were already producing over here for regenerators. I just increased my production a bit. And a new production, the synaptic circuits, which as you can see, I'm producing exactly what I need, 44 to 44. And these ones I'm making over here. I had a bit of space and it fitted nicely. You can see this is one building and the second that we're starting over here, right? We have a lot of maintenance, 10,000, this is huge. But at least it's using some easy one, the silicon that we are already producing and some of this bioresin that we are also already producing, remember, to make our biopolymers. So at least in terms of the inputs, that was an easy one. But it's a lot of people, a lot of electricity and a lot of maintenance despite having those 5 modules. As I said, I'm also trying to keep the productions positive, but not too high to make some good profit. And yes, we are at plus 32,000. It's not as good as the plus 50 we reach at some point, but it's not too bad. And one thing that has been costing me quite a lot is the water. Remember, we didn't have enough coastal productions for all of the water that we needed. So we're buying it from the world market, but it is often quite expensive. Right over here, for example, right now it's costing me more than 30,000. We have 2 other temperate regions over here, and the idea is that for now they can provide water for everybody else. In the future we can colonize all of those islands, but for now they're going to be providing all of the water that I need. Of course, you do need a bit of people, right? So that's why I've started a first island over here with some people. I'm giving water, I'm giving organic food to those people, but the idea is now, I have almost 900 of workforce. And one thing like this, this is one workforce, right? If I put those modules to reduce the workforce. So now I can colonize all of the other islands that are over here, right? And on each of them, I can then produce water. Right now, it's not so high. It's only 13 because again, I do consume quite a bit over here. I may delete also some of those houses at the end if I don't need them. But yeah, the idea is let's produce tons of water everywhere and then send that water to the other regions. And hopefully this way make a lot more profit. Why make more profit, you may ask? We need to restart the gravitons on the moon and that costs a lot. Now, I don't know exactly who won the bet, but clearly I lost. As you can see, most of my fleet has died. They used to all be improved, remember? Now I lost all of them, and so if I want to get them back to a high level, I need to spend a lot of money. Because look at this one, for example. I mean, this is the cheapest, right? The first level is only 30,000. Sure, let's do it. Next level is already 120, and the final 330. And that was the cheapest, right? So imagine those ones. We definitely don't have that kind of money right now, so I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, I, as always, lost this bet. But we're still alive, that's the important thing. And they do continue to attack, by the way, all the time. So indeed, I have to protect, I have to use my fleet, otherwise there's always some trouble. But I think that's a good end to this episode. I will do a lot in between the episode. I think we're going to develop, as I said, those regions to get a lot of water. I'm gonna try to get those production to a higher level so that we start the next episode hopefully with 150 or at least more than 100 of investors. Thank you for watching, please smash the like button and I hope to see you next time.